Hey, thank you for joining me with another episode from European Motors. What we are looking at, everyone, I'm so excited to show you, is the 2020 or the 2020 BMW 8 Series. These are the first few spy shots that are shown of this car, and you may say, well, how do you know this is the 8 Series? Well, first of all, there's a few things to look at. There's a few interesting tidbits to look at the grille. It does not look like an M car because you see standard grille features here. There's no huge air intake like there usually would be for an M car. You take a look at the grille here and even the hood. It looks reminiscent of a 6 Series, but then you keep looking on here and then you start to see different things with the windows, and even let us continue to the other photos that are shown here, which give you a good idea of what we're looking at here. They have standard wheels. These almost look like 7 Series wheels. If you really paid attention to 7 Series wheels, they kind of look like this. They have this pattern. If you continue looking, you see this flush exhaust with the bumper, which is really interesting. Of course, you see the lights here are very covered up. Of course, if you guys don't know, this the camouflage here is pretty much made to hide the lines of the car. Now you see a pretty interesting curve here for the trunk area, and then you see this huge lump, and then you even see there's kind of, I would say, like an intake or some type of airflow that's going on through here that's really interesting. You see a break in the pattern. I will show a couple more. You see it a lot more here, where you see the window and then you see, maybe it's just for aesthetics, just for looks, but it's really interesting to see that. So if we keep looking, we see the back here. It's very reminiscent of a 6, although you can also see a little portions of 5 Series down here. But this flush exhaust is really awesome, really cool. Of course, you can see there's actually quad exhaust. You see 1, 2. I'm expecting 3, 4, and then you see this on the outside as kind of a cover for that. So that's pretty interesting. And I do want to show you the last couple of pictures over here. You see the double exhaust here on the left, and of course on the right you just saw that. I just showed it to you. And then finally we do see in the last photo kind of a rumored look for the new 8 Series. Now, you know, the new 8 Series, of course, harkens back to the original 8 Series, which I'll put a photo of that up there so you can see. Lovely car, lovely design. I always love the really small kidney grille up front, really thin profile. Now, jumping back to the new car, of course, you see the really new headlights. You see there's just a really nice flow of the entire car. It's very reminiscent, in my opinion, of a Bentley Continental GT. Just these straight lines coming through, even a little bit of Volvo back here. But anyway, that's kind of beside the point. I want to show you some of these photos, and I wanted to see what you guys thought about it. So just looking at some of the information on this, it's pretty interesting. I think you'll like this. So BMW said back around in March that they were going to add more high-end models, and basically the 8 Series will be one of these, but they also would make an i8 Spider. Now you can tell from these photos, this is not an i8 Spider by any means. You know this is a different car completely, and the lines just really harken to something really different, and I think that's really interesting. Of course, BMW is trying to set a luxury, pretty high-end model, and BMW's kind of lacking in that department. The i8 kind of filled that gap, but it's like an experimental hybrid type thing. And so I think this is where the 8 Series comes perfectly. It would be likened to a Mercedes S-Class, the coupe, basically, and it's a very interesting thing. Pretty much Pininfarina in conjunction with Gran Lusso Coupe is kind of creating this partnership with BMW to be able to come out with this car, and I think that's amazing. We know this car is going to look beautiful, and this is the Gran Lusso Coupe here, and in this photo, of course, we see a concept model, but this is a really good idea of what the car will look like. Of course, this is not the car. It is just indications of what it could possibly look like, but again, BMW trademarked these things, which is really interesting. The V8, V12, M Performance, and dedicated M options for the car. 850, 860, M850, and M8. So this harkens back to the original 850. There's no 840. 880, 860, which is pretty awesome. And M850, which kind of is like the M235 that we have now. And then the M8, of course. This is just ridiculous. Talking about 600 horsepower, V12 with 600 horsepower as well, a 6-liter. This is going to be a monster. I can't imagine what this car is going to be like. I just really hope BMW steps up their game and just kind of pushes kind of the 7 Series aside. It says here that apparently the slow-selling 6 Series will be phased out. I would say the 7 needs to be phased out, to be honest with you. But the 7 has just been plagued recently. I don't know about the newest 7, but the 7 is always kind of, I think it's just struggling with sales too. And the 6 Series, I think, makes more sense in making that kind of the baby 8. But anyway, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what BMW is going to do? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. I'm really excited about this. Let's take another look at what this car is going to rumor to look like. Thank you all for supporting me. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Browse for more. I have so much information for you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time.